Okay, we are back for more information on how to make your menu, and today deals with menu pricing. So this section of the unit is going to involve some math. The first item you need to consider is your labor cost. Your labor cost gets incorporated into your menu items cost because you had to pay somebody to make the food. Labor costs vary. Your new employees are going to cost less than those that have been there for a while. And likewise, state law may dictate, or unions may dictate, how much you need to pay people. All right, competition. Competition is you need to look at similar restaurants in your area and see what they are charging. You may charge a little bit less if you want to undercut them, or you might charge just a little bit more to make your restaurant seem like it's a little bit more upscale for the same items. But you need to be in the ballpark. You need to look at your customers. What can they afford to pay? For instance, if we look at Javachino, all of the 99% of our customers are high school students, so they're not going to come in wanting to pay $6 for a cup of coffee. So we need to find a way to sell coffee cheaper than $6 as compared to Starbucks. Now again, we wait on teachers, but they're wanting something quick and easy as well. Atmosphere. What is the atmosphere of your restaurant? If your restaurant is a real quick walk in, grab your food, get out, you're not going to be able to charge as much as you can for a nice sit down restaurant. So that would be atmosphere, and location is huge. Restaurants that are in busy cities, those people usually have more disposable income, which means they can afford some higher prices. If you're looking at a rural area and your restaurant's in a real small town, incomes are lower there, so people have less disposable income. So location is very important. Now, there are a couple ways to determine the pricing method, and the first is the factor method. So first, as you go through your business, you're going to determine a goal, and that goal will be your food cost percentage, and you want that goal to be lower, meaning what percentage of the price is food. All right, and then another certain percent would obviously be your labor and all of that, but this rule of thumb keeps you from having to figure out exactly your labor, your electricity, your rent, and so forth. It's based on food cost percentage. So once you have determined your food cost percentage for your business, you divide 100 by the percentage to convert it to a factor. And again, there's going to be an example to show this. Then you multiply the recipe cost by that factor to determine the selling cost. Now, I believe in restaurants, you never want to be over 35% food cost percentage. Some items might be over it, but then you need some items that are way below it to counter that overage. But the lower you keep it, the better your profit will be, but then you have to balance that with quality as well. So there's a lot of things to take into consideration. So let's look at this example. Your restaurant food cost goal is 25%. So it says that was step 1. Step 2, divide 100 by the percentage. So 100 divided by 25 is 4. So 4 is your factor. So I'm going to tell you that the hamburger and fries has a recipe cost of $1.50. So you can make a hamburger and fries for $1.50. That is your food cost. So your selling cost is $1.50 times 4, which is your factor, and you are going to sell that hamburger for $6. So that's one method restaurants can use to price their items. The next method is called markup on cost method. The food cost is divided by the desired food cost percentage. Example, a grilled cheese and soup cost $1.25 to make, and the desired food cost percentage is 25%. You take $1.25 divided by 0.25. Now you must remember that the percentage has to be stated as a decimal, and then your selling cost is $5. Now, both of these methods give you the exact same answer. So if we did the hamburger and fries here, it would come out to $6, and if we did the grilled cheese and soup with the other method, it would come out to $5. However, different people's brains work differently, and so one of these will probably be easier for you to follow than the other one. And it doesn't matter which method you use on the exam unless it specifically tells you to demonstrate a method, but you will need to know both of them for the worksheet. Now, another method is competitors pricing. Now, you still need to do either the factor method or the markup method because you need a ballpark. Then you look at your competitors' pricing. So you might be getting your hamburger and fries for $1.50 where your competitors are getting them for 90 cents. So for you to undercut them means you're going to greatly increase your food cost percentage and end up, you could eventually end up losing money. So you can look at competitors' pricing, but you must compare it to what the actual math showed so that you're not undercutting yourself. And again, you charge slightly less to attract more customers or to lure them away from the competition, or you can charge slightly more to appear more upscale. Again, this is risky. It does not account for differences in labor costs, rent, etc. So you really need to compare all those factors before you make that decision. And then there's psychological pricing method, and this is all mental. And it's kind of goofy, but it's very true. Once you've determined your selling price, then this method can be used. So the price is adjusted based on the customer's reactions to the price. So let's say you're going to sell your hamburger for $6. Well, according to all the studies, more customers will buy the hamburger if you drop the price to $5.95. Is it only 5 cents? Yep. But in a customer's head, they're looking at the first number. So even though it's only 5 cents less, in their head they think it's $1 less. It's crazy, but it's true. If you can drop it just below, they're more likely to buy it. So if you even think about restaurants, 49 cents. That seems a whole lot less than 50 cents. But most restaurants don't sell food items that are $6.25. They'll keep them at $6 or $5.95 and adjust other prices to accommodate. Or they might increase it. If you want to sell it for $6.50, you might as well adjust it to $6.95 because people are going to think it's $7 regardless if it's 50 or 95. So a customer views a price increase of $4.95 to $5.25 as a big change. So you can do the math. That's a 30-cent price increase. They think it's huge because in their head you went from $4 to $5. Yet they view a change of $4.25 to $4.75 as a small change, and that was 50 cents because the first number, that 4, stayed the same. In fact, the majority of customers will not even notice the difference from $4.25 to $4.75 because in their head it's $4. Yet they will notice this change immediately because it crossed the dollar line. So again, that's some psychological games that are real that you need to consider when pricing out your food items. Okay, now on your worksheet you're going to have several math problems to do, so feel free to ask your teacher for help. Thank you.